Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku podcast, where me and my buddy talk about East Asian pop culture. I'm Petey Rave, your man with no plan. Of course, the aforementioned buddy, my friend, my pal, my tag team partner in all this. Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz, is right over here. How you doing, Kaz?
I am doing well. I'm doing good.
We're here to talk about East Asian pop culture, as we do often, at least as much as we can. But we're doing it now. Doing it here. And of course, we start off every episode talking about what's new. Checking to see what we've been checking out, see what's caught our attention since we last gathered. Kaz.
So, I wasn't going to talk about this, but let me find a thing and I'm going to talk about this. But me and our good mutual friend, DJM, have been doing the Two Nerdy Black Guys podcast. And we've been kind of watching nerdy things here and there, and we don't talk about anime on that show or this one, but this one is a movie much akin to like Rurouni Kenshin and all those kind of things that have had live action movies made. This one is called, all right, YouTube, work with me. This one is called Blade of the Immortal. I'm trying to find the trailer so you can see it. Blade of the Riddle. And the cool thing about it for me is it's directed by Takashi Miike, if you are familiar with Takashi Miike, and it's just a really, really fun anime style action movie. And if that's something that's right up your alley, like just pure action, like just weird things that happen for no reason, then it's something you should definitely check out. And we always try to talk about other things than just that in this segment. So I figured that was worth a mention.
Yeah, it's got a Red Band trailer for its live action movie, so it's definitely one. Apparently, he's not human.
Nope. But yeah, so it has all that going for it. You can get it on the YouTubes and the Amazons for about $6 or $7 for a rental, and that's about the price of a movie ticket. So I definitely thought it was worth. So I say go check it out if you're doing so.
Definitely doesn't skip on the gore.
No, not a Takashi Miike movie. No.
We're moving on.
All right. So from that to this, I'm going to talk about our boy Zion.T with with some new stuff coming out. This one is called Snow. This is like kind of a really heartfelt, time of the year. This kind of time of the year song from Zion.T, and it's a very interesting music video to accompany it as well. I wasn't really sure the direction this video was going to go. And there are times I thought it was going to be a little bit darker than it was, but it's interesting. I didn't have time to go and look up the lyrics, which everyone says is like really heartfelt and really emotional and like really, really pull at you kind of lyrics. Which I wouldn't expect anything less from the Zion.T kind of song with this kind of accompanying video.
Yeah, it is like even like without knowing the lyrics or knowing the dialogue, you kind of get an idea of what's going on. And yeah, it's at least you kind of get into and infer a lot of what's going on in the music video with he goes through like just in the moments and like the emotion behind it and the story it's trying to tell, and like there's also little hints and little bits of information that you see in like little visual moments and choices like set dressing and things like that. So like in books, like in the book that he uses in the video, which you get the comments. You know what? one of those moments where you can read the comments. The comments on this video helped out actually a little bit, if I remember correctly, because they actually kind of gave you the little bit of information that helped you piece it together, which is really cool, including the name of the book, which is really cool. So, one time when it's good to read the comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I thought it was a really well thought out, kind of well crafted, well put together video too, like just to accompany the song. So, just it's kind of two things that go together really well. So definitely go check it out if you're into Zion.T. It's definitely worth a look at.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move through these relatively quickly.
A little bit of boy band blitz.
I got the boys. The boys are putting out music. So we got GOT7 coming up first with a Teenager. So this is their performance video for their song Teenager. I like this song. I like this performance. I like the boys from GOT7. I thought it was kind of just like a fun. It's a kind of a fun song that I feel like is dropped in the wrong time of year for some reason to me. Yeah. I don't know why I get that feeling from it, but I do.
Yeah, I think it's a cool song. It's well performed. It's a weird time. I don't know.
It doesn't feel like a winter song to me. It just does. Yeah. It just doesn't have that feel. Like I feel like it should have been like a summer song or something.
Yeah, something a little bit more timely. But it works. I think I will say, like, if there's one thing that if you're going back to, it's another example of like Jackson now fully embracing the Bobby school of rapping now. With the gravel voice, like it's like he's going full that. Like he's just said, I'm committing to this, which is. Hit or miss with me. A little bit more miss than that. Also, he had his solo release recently, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It just wasn't great.
It's pretty good. We've heard worse.
Yeah. But GOT7 is fantastic. I think just in general. I think overall, even with like the parts that miss, I think they do really good stuff.
All right, so we got that. We got the boys from GOT7. What else do I got for you, boys? Oh, here and ladies. I got Pentagon with Runaway, which I think is also just another kind of just midwinter banger for some reason. Well, not even midwinter yet, but like just a banger in the midst of winter coming up.
Yeah, I think it has a really good vibe of like, it has a good like instrumental for it. Like it works like the kind of the I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It just kind of has a cool vibe to it. Like it has it's pretty chill, which I think works because it's not overwhelmingly high octane or anything like that. It just is a good pace. It's well paced. It's not overwhelming. But I think it still has a good energy, like a good vibe and a good energy to it, which is really cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it just has a really good pace and it's just super fun.
Yeah. I think it's working out for Pentagon. It's good that I feel like I'm embracing and getting and connecting with more boy groups lately. And not just like the obvious, because like historically it's taken like I like not that I hate boy groups. I just it's taken a little bit more for me to connect with any kind of particular boy group, but now I'm finding more and more like groups that are like, wow, they're doing really cool, and I think over the years like it's cool to kind of like to see that I'm like finding more groups to kind of get in on, which is really cool.
Okay. Yeah.
All
right. So a group that everybody's into is BTS, and so their song. Well, all right. So BTS did a joint with Steve Aoki, and it's called Mic Drop. Well, this is called Mic Drop, and it's the Steve Aoki remix. It's a banger, man. It's really, really good. BTS needs to have more of their shit produced by Steve Aoki. See, I think this is where this works out, right? You go out and you find the right person. You don't just find a person for the name, which, okay, you kind of are going to Steve Aoki for the name, but he knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
When you go to Skrillex, you're going to Skrillex for the Skrillex sound, right? And it's gonna sound like Skrillex,
Yeah. But yeah, you go to Steve Aoki. It's fantastic. Like that sound. It's a nice, filthy like trap beat. Like he took the song, he turned it into something really cool. Like it's so much fun. Like it's such a fun banger. Like I've been like jamming to this so much. Like this is one of my especially getting out of work, when I'm getting out of work and need some music to like bump in the car like on my way to home. I'll play this off of like Spotify, and I'll actually I like there's a version with Designer on Spotify. On like the actual there's two versions. There's this one, but then there's like the full English one, which is with the Designer verse, and I kind of like it. Like it's fun, like in a kind of a silly way, but it's fun. And yeah, I think overall it's just such a cool track and so much fun to listen to, and like it's been crazy to kind of see BTS like just grow to the extent that they've been growing. Like this was like I think 28 on the Billboard Hot 100 or something like that. Like it's been like it's got like already got like 55 million views on YouTube, and it's like it was number one on iTunes, like not number one K-pop, just number one. Like it was just the top, and part of that is the strength of fandom, but as we've historically known, yeah, K-pop stuff does well in like these like charts because the fandom just kind of like pushes it, and is able to drive it, but only to a certain extent. Like there's always a ceiling, but they've kind of pushed past that, which is really cool. Which either speaks to an even crazier fandom, or that there's a little bit more to it than just the fandom push.
Yeah, no, there's definitely the fandom helps put it at the tip, right? And then it's up to kind of luck and everything else to push it over, right? Like it's like kind of cranking a roller coaster by yourself up to the peak, and then you're just hoping gravity does the rest, right? Like,
yeah.
And for some reason, like every time with BTS, you crank it up to the top, and then it goes up and over like on its own, and it works out really well somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so cool. BTS, it's such a cool track. I'm so glad for it. Yeah. Moving on. We've got quite a few songs to go to. I got a few songs to go to. Not to shortchange BTS, but like it's even more of what we talked about with the previous times we talked about BTS, and we're probably going to talk about BTS a lot in the future. So there will be time. Sorry, Henry. But let's move on. So my stuff. So a couple things. Speaking of like TV shows, movies, and stuff like that. Couple things on Netflix that caught my attention. So and it's kind of a somber thing. The last drama, last I guess piece of media that starred Kim Joo Hyuk before his unfortunate passing. Argon is on Netflix, and I've been checking out a couple. I checked out the first couple episodes, and it's really cool. Like it's really like very much a serious, but not like melodramatic. I think it shows very much shows the strength of like what's happening on cable television in Korea, which is more non-standard ideas. Like it's just a story of a news station or a program kind of like that's struggling to kind of like stick to its guns, but dealing with the pressure of like outside forces influencing like what can or cannot be reported or should or shouldn't, and like it's the back and forth of like trying to like stick to your journalistic like integrity, but like working at a big TV station that has advertisers and influencers and things like that, and like a little bit of behind the scenes. It's just really cool, and I think like it's well acted, it's well made, like it's pretty well written, and it really showcases how super sad it is that in more ways than one, not just as a human being losing their life, but we also lost a really talented actor in Kim Ji-hyuk because he's fantastic in the show. So everyone should go ahead and check it out. It's a drama I think that is worth. So far, it's just first impressions, first couple episodes. I'm still like getting through it, but definitely a drama worth checking out. Maybe we'll talk about it in the future. We'll see. But yeah. Another thing on Netflix, they have I found, I'm pointing this one out, but I found they've had a couple of like variety shows on there randomly, like just random variety shows. One in particular, they have Knowing Brothers or Anan Hyungnim, which is the big one, where like big, but like the hot one right now, where the one where you got Kang Ho Dong and Hee Chul of Super Junior and a couple other guys. It's the one you see on all those clips where they're all dressed in school uniforms. It is a fun show. It's interesting because they have 2 seasons, quote unquote. The first season is like a best of like their first year or so.
Yeah.
And like the second season is like, okay, this is the season from start to finish. It's interesting. It's a little weird. I would say it's a little weird for that first season. At least the first couple episodes, I've noticed that for some reason at least the first couple episodes, it doesn't seem to be an issue later. They didn't get the rights to like music, so like the IOI episode, the first IOI episode, where they have them kind of dressed as girl group members, the guys, while they compete with IOI. You get these like performances where they're supposed to be playing Pick Me, but you hear this like generic song instead, and you just see like Pick Me, and you see them dancing, but you hear some other random song. Now, granted, I'm not the biggest fan of Pick Me, so I'm almost a little grateful, but it's still weird. Like it's still like catches you off guard. So, but it seems to be remedied for the second season, I guess, because it's almost like I don't know what it is. Like it's weird because it's not the whole thing that they couldn't get music for, or at least it doesn't seem. I don't know. I will report back when I actually watch all the episodes.
Yeah. Look into it. Find a Wikipedia.
But yeah, there's some variety shows on there. Have you seen the lineup for like Korean variety shows on Netflix?
No.
Yeah, because look, there's this one.
Is it getting up there finally?
They have a couple of shows. They have that one. They have Please Take Care of My Refrigerator. I don't know if you heard that one. They call it Chef in My Fridge. Just like this one, they call it Men on a Mission. The Knowing Brothers, which is weird. They also have Abnormal Summit, which I've been meaning to want to check out, and on Netflix is going to be a lot easier to check out than it is on going like on K-Show online or some other random website. So it's definitely worth checking out. I'm looking forward to being able to actually like watch these shows on a platform that is a lot easier for me to watch them on. But yeah. Moving on to the music. Card came back with a new track. And they went with actually a different sound this time, going a little bit more late 2000s dark hip hop, like with some modern influences with their song "You in Me." Dirty thoughts aside, it's a cool song stylistically. Like it's a cool song. It's a cool song musically. Like it definitely feels like akin to like the style of music that you would like attribute to say like that Eminem Rihanna song, that and similar style to that. But they add some cool things, and it's Card, so like it's unique enough, and it's definitely enjoyable. Like it it is something really cool, like in the instrumental and music. Something really cool about just the visuals and the dance as well. Like, it's another fantastic. It's another solid effort from Card. I think it's like I'm really hoping that it continues to grow them, especially domestically. They're definitely growing internationally, but hopefully domestically to kind of give them a solid foundation. I don't know. What do you think, Cass?
I like this one. I like Card. I don't seek them out enough. And I mostly hear about them from other people, which makes me feel a little bad because I do enjoy them a lot, and I don't know why I don't seek them out enough. But I think that's just kind of me slowing down with K-pop just in general lately, like, or just music overall. It's just been kind of like slow with what I'm doing with music. So
but it's definitely really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing more from Card. They even dropped 2 music videos this time, which is they dropped a kind of a surprise music video for another track off the album, which is different, an even different style from that one. With "Trust Me," which is interesting. Mm-hmm. Like it's a cool song, and I think overall that it's just cool to kind of see the dynamics of the group. Which is fantastic. So I think it's worth checking out. See what Card is up to. Moving on to the next one. One kind of like probably shouldn't have caught me by surprise, but kind of did. But another track from the ongoing early access girl group, like the PUBG of K-pop girl groups. It's always early access. Eventually, it'll be 1.0, but that's next year. But Luna, Hidari Sonia, with their newest member Eve. I'm gonna go with the Korean and just say Eve. It have an interesting spelling in the kind of the English version. This song is cool. Like this song, I'd been lazy about checking it out, like the music video, but one day I was just like putting on K-Party Dance Mix on Spotify, and it came up on this song, and it's like, it just like went, what? Like, it has a really cool like 80s-esque sound. There's something really cool about the instrumental, like especially on the hook part. It's pretty, like it works really well with her voice. I think it very much services exactly what works well with her voice. It's not a vocal gymnastics song. It's not a high dynamics as far as like her vocals. It's just about achieving a certain sound, and I think it works really well. The video is also fantastic, and her visuals bring it. Definitely. What do you think?
I'm so confused by this group at this point, man, and I don't know if that's what they want. But it's this song is actually really good. And a lot of them have been rather good too, right? So like it's just odd because I don't know what to think. This group is gonna have more music like before released, and a lot of groups like they're just gonna have so much shit to do and perform already before anything even really has happened with them, right? But then it's like is I don't know. I'm just so lost as to what it is they're actually doing, right? Because then it's always like person introduction. Okay, now song with everyone that we've introduced up to so far, right? Then it's just it's this ever growing thing, and I'm like, when does it end? Like this has been going on for like a year now.
Yeah. Supposedly it's like we're gonna get it at I think 12 members.
So there's one a month. No, it felt like there was maybe more than one a month.
I think there's been like more releases, but like they've been doing like unit releases, and there's been some gaps. Like it's been interesting. Let me look at let's see, band. Okay, Luna band. Because so far they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 members. And they've kind of been releasing more or less one a month. They skipped March. They skipped August. Well, no, they didn't skip it, but they kind of had like in March they kind of had a unit release. So they've been kind of like introducing members and like in some months doing like unit stuff, like especially with Odd Eye Circle the past couple of months. And then it's been introducing each member, but not exactly monthly. So I think let me see what it says. It's going to be 12 members. It's going to debut in 2018. So I think it's like not. It's supposed to last 8. Okay, so according to the Wikipedia, it's supposed to last 18 months. So I guess giving themselves a little bit of a breathing room to not have to release a new member and stuff and have to do the whole thing that month. But they've been making music every month, so we're going at a good pace. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm looking forward to. It's fun, kind of like to have an early access K-pop group in a sense. Microsoft preview esque, you know.
Fucking Steam Greenlight, your K-pop group.
Yeah. Yeah, looking forward to it. Last but not least, Hyuna, your girl, the fantastic, ridiculous Hyuna, is back with a new track. She called it kind of a thank you track. Lip and Hip. And it is a cool song. It is fun. It is it's not mind blowing, but I don't think Hyuna has ever really been much of a I'm gonna bring out the most transformative single of the world. She just puts out fun music and performs it with gusto, and this definitely has all of her kind of personality, and it's definitely kind of approaching it does pepper in a lot of the elements of like her figuring out like her sexy side versus her versus people's expectations of her, and like things like that, and her wanting to express herself fully and things like that. But overall, at the end of the day, even divorce of that, which there's some, it works well, and it's right there. Aside from that, it's just a fun song. It's fun to listen to. It's fun to bop to. And it's a fun video to watch. That's for sure. What did you think, Kaz?
I love Hannah. She's fun, right? Like you said, she's not amazing, but she's fun, and that's the kind of the thing that everyone loves about Hannah and gets from Hannah is she's fucking fun.
And she's unapologetic, almost like in a sense, on the stage. Like she has no fucks to give. And then she's the goofiest sweetheart in real life, and like but you get that both of those can exist at the same time because it works so well. So it's definitely worth checking out. Go check it out. Have fun. It's a fun to put it on your party time. Put it on. It's going to be on a nice addition to the K Party Dance Mix. It's just nice party track to just jam to. I love Hannah. She's so fantastic. Yeah. Also, but Donald's. Nothing else is to be said. But Donald's. All right. That's it for what's new. We're going to transition over to our headlines. Talk about some of the things going on, some nonsense, mayhem, and foolishness, and some fun things. So join us on the flip side, won't you? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Headlines, where we do some of the topics and goings on. Let's get down to it. EXO stands outraged at 2017 Mama results. Crash Blue House petition site. So there's been a little bit of a hubbub. So EXO, let's talk about this. EXO actually won a day sang at the 2017 Mama just recently, but before that even happened, livid EXO stands created a petition on the Blue House's site for Mama to be abolished. So there's a petition page for Blue House, and someone just filled the petition for Mama to be abolished. It's a rule that if a petition gets more than 200,000 signs in a month, it will get a reply from the Blue House. Now that petition's page server just crashed. At the time they couldn't get access to the petition, but it's there. The site has recovered. It seems to have, if what I'm looking at is correct, about 20,000 signatures. It's fascinating. So a lot of it is like complaints about things like 101 winning over EXO and like and other groups and like BTS and like basically just taking a lot of an award show way too seriously.
So let's do this while you do that, right? We have stated many a times that kind of EXO fans are really extra. Right? EXO-Ls are they go the extra mile, and they feel like the biggest fandom, and they might be the biggest collected fandom, right? Like, or organized is what I should say. They may be like kind of the biggest organized fandom around, and they're very vocal about it. They're very vocal about being a very large fan base and a fan base that can drop a lot of support. But it feels like they kind of miss the world around them because of it, right? Yeah. They miss the fact that EXO is not doing that hot. Like, EXO just isn't once what it was. You have just things that are growing beyond them. BTS is growing beyond them. Other boy groups are a lot popular in kind of the absence of EXO, because EXO is kind of absent a little bit. And I feel like their fandom is blind to a lot of these things because of it. Like, because they just show support. They just show up. They buy singles. They buy albums. They buy merchandise, and it keeps EXO afloat. It keeps EXO on top. But I don't think they actually know what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, and so they had an album. So this month, not this month. This year. They had an album this year, but outside of that one album, outside of The War, they haven't been doing a lot this year other than tours and shows and tours and things like that. But this has been a light year for EXO. Because if you look at this year, it's just was Coco Bop and Power. Which is, that's half of this. If you compare that to, it's already almost the end of the year, and you compare that to 2016, where they had 6 songs, as 5 songs. Yeah, 5 songs. In 2016, and like 5 songs in like 2015. They had the kind of the thing. Now they're kind of going into a different point in their career, especially with all the turmoil. And maybe some other groups are going to start getting awards for their upward trajectory. Also, awards are meaningless. You shouldn't take them that seriously, especially the mamas. Especially Mama, especially Mnet Asian Music Awards, which are the Korean VMAs. This is meaningless. So chill out, chill the fuck out. All right,
yeah,
everybody, not just XOLs, everybody, chill out. All right, moving on. To something a little bit more cool, because it's a show. It's about a show that we haven't been as. It's a show that was an important part of our Korean entertainment fandom, but we haven't been consuming or really been participating in a while. So, Running Man PD comments on the show's recent rating success and his promise to Lee Kwang-soo. SBS Running Man has been through some changes in the past year, which has caused instability in the viewership ratings. However, the show is seeing a revival in its popularity once again. According to Nielsen Korea, the December 3rd episode of Running Man achieved the highest ratings in over 2 years, with 10.3% during the second part of its broadcast. Producing director, in case you were wondering what PD is, when somebody calls it PD, then producing director Jung Chul-min spoke with a Korean media outlet about the show's recent success. Jung Chul-min said, since April, I discussed a lot with the members about bringing new members and projects. That was when the viewership ratings fell down to 3%. I told them, do whatever you want to do. I will try my best to help you, end quote. And he goes on to talk about a moment where he talked to Kwang-soo at the end of an award show where he won an award. And he promised that he would turn it around, and which is really cool. And they seem to have turned it around. Obviously, neither one of us has really been watching the show, especially not since the new members have come in. But it seemed,
we haven't been watched. I haven't watched since like the original announcement that Gary was going to leave, right? So I kind of almost wanted to do what we almost originally did with these shows, is kind of go back to that moment and watch up, right? Yeah. And kind of just see the feeling, right? Because we reached this feeling, like I think most viewers did at that moment, where it felt like it was coming to an end, right? It felt like such a cookie cutter show. It felt like show up, produce it, and be done with it. Like you got this feeling that like a lot of times shows make the joke that car pulls up, person gets out, you start the show, show ends, person gets in car. You know, like a lot of shows kind of have that kind of joke in it, in a sense, like Family Outing, right? But that was kind of a bit with Family Outing, that everybody shows up in this unknown town, and then you have to take care of the house, and it kind of had this fun appeal to it, right? But here, or where we left off with Running Man, it felt like that in itself was the production of the show, right? Because these people were so busy, and the show kind of almost became second nature to a lot of them.
Secondary.
That it was,
almost in a sense.
Show up, do it, and leave.
Yeah. I think hopefully it seems that they're trying different things and trying new things. Supposedly, we'll have to see if we decide to kind of sit down and catch back up. It's tough with variety shows because there's no off season. There's a lot of episodes, so we'll have to see how we can do that. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Yeah. All the best to Running Man. Those are people. It's a show that it's near dear to our hearts as Korean entertainment fans. Because it's like our first episode was I think at least one of our early episodes was revolving around us talking about how much we enjoyed Running Man. So it's like part of like what brought us together, like to do the show. Yeah. All the best of luck, I think. All right. Now speaking of hot messes, Produce 48 teased during 2017 Mama in Japan after AKB48 and K-pop collab stage. Hey, remember that? It's like remember that report earlier this month that the third season of Produce 101 would see them creating a girl group again, would have Mnet teaming with AKB48 and AKS. Remember how that report was denied as groundless by Mnet at the time? Well, at 2017 Mama in Japan just moments ago, Mnet teased something called Produce 48 with they teased a show called AKB with AKB48. They produced 48. We don't know exactly what it is or what it's going to be, but we kind of get an idea because basically, like, Produce 101 was AKB48 turned into a singular show. I mean, in essence, but what are your thoughts? What are your reactions?
It's idol. It's idol crack, right? It's the idea that just, I don't know. It turns it into a formula, right? And it's just really, really weird, man. That like you just think you could go through something like that and just make it formulaic in that sense.
Yeah. It's gonna be. It's probably just gonna be another Produce 101 season, but I don't know. Like what is AKS's involvement? Like what does that mean? Like, is it gonna be Japanese like Produce 101, or is it gonna be like? Are they gonna have to play rock paper scissors to be the center? Like, are they gonna do are they gonna do episodes of AK Bingo? Like, what's the deal, man? So I don't know. Do you have any speculations on what kind of show this could be?
No, no. It's gonna be like a weird reality, just producer show. Like, that's just all it's gonna be. It's just gonna be way too many girls to think about or care about, or people to want to even interact with. It's gonna be weird, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm out of that realm of idol culture. I don't care about that form of idol culture anymore.
It's gonna be weird. It might be intriguing. I don't know. Could be a good hot mess. we'll see. I haven't watched a single season of Produce 101. I probably won't watch this one, but I'm looking forward to hearing about the mess that it ends up being. But yeah. Last story. This is a fun little story of joy. A joyous, nice little good, happy ending story. A little bit of a fairy tale ending kind of thing. Hyedin inspires true love as a fanboy and fangirl meet through giant Hyedin pick, end up married. As this is a great little article, kind of about how these two Vietnamese EXID fans, these two Vietnamese Lego met because the dude held up a gigantic picture of Hyedin at a concert, and I guess she must have noticed it and seen how awesome it was, and they became friends, and they ended up dating and getting married. This is adorable, and it's such a nice little story. Kaz, what are your thoughts?
It almost seems too real to be true, but it seems like it. I guess they became friends for a while after the event, and somewhere in the comments somebody said they even went on a date and wearing t-shirts with her on it. Yeah. So
yeah, K-pop brings the world together, gives people happiness. Yeah, a nice little headline to finish us out on. That brings us to the end of another episode of Hallyujuku. Kaz, what's going on? What's going on in your world?
Not much right now, man. Just pay attention to all the podcast sports odds and ends. DKG whelping this one in tow. Just do that for me.
Yeah. He's of course at King Kaz. I'm at Peter Rave. The show is Hallyujuku.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
Hallyujuku.com, kpoppodcast.com. We're all over the place. Rebelli.net for this and other shows. Rebelli TV on YouTube and other places. Do the things. Subscribe, like, share.
Give it to me straight.
Comment, review. Do all the things. Until next time. Hasta los huevos.
Give it to me straight, doctor.